What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Uh, Content has been slowed down a little bit recently, basketball-wise, just as my local courts have gone under resurfacing, and both of them won't be open until January. So, trying to find another court where I can do some content. But in the meantime, I thought I'd come on here and just talk a little bit about mindset and mentality behind basketball, and kind of the way I've looked at mentality and kind of trained my mindset to be a pro. It is tricky, and there's a lot goes into it. There's many different ways you can train your mindset, or different mindsets you can have. But I just want to talk about the things that have helped me along the way, especially when you don't make teams, don't make shots, don't achieve the goals you want and the timeline you have. They can all be kind of demoralizing, downing a little bit, but there are ways to bounce back, and your mindset is what helps you with that. So I guess the one thing from that point to go on with would be, I try and look at it as getting 1% better each day. And if you do this over a course of time, obviously you're going to be 7% better. If you try and get 1% better each day, at the end of a week, you're hopefully 7% better. And as that multiplies as the weeks go on, so you can't not get better if this is your mindset of trying to get 1% better each day. So if you can go through a day, go to bed at night, and be like, yeah, I definitely got 1% better each day, and continually do that, then you will continually progress and get better. And that team you didn't make or goal you didn't achieve will be behind you, and you'll be on to better things as you've surpassed that and you have more goals. Like that's how it kind of works. You got to look at it. I want to get 1% better each day. Do the things that you can control to get 1% better each day, and just continue with your journey from there without having these goals or aspirations that you can't control. As in being my next point, just control the things that you can control to become 1% better each day. So I can control when I go practice, I can control what I do during my workouts, I can control when I go to the gym, I can control what I eat, I can control when I stretch and work on my body. Like, I can control those things. There are certain things you can't control, like making a team. You're not the one that picks a team, so you can't necessarily actually control that. Winning a game, you can't actually control that. You can contribute to it, but you can't control the end result. That's up to the team. So trying to focus on the things that only you can control, and dictating those things, that will inevitably lead to your own success, because you're controlling what you can control. And if you're only worried about those things, all the outside factors won't affect you mentally, because you're not trying to control those outside factors, people talking to you, different things. You're not trying to control those anymore. You're just focusing on yourself. That for me, controlling the things that I can control, was difficult for me to understand at first and kind of get better at, but I do a good job of it now, trying to focus on myself and not look at, social media is one thing that's great, but it's also bad in a lot of ways for young kids trying to succeed and have their own journey. As others are posted on there all the time, you see all these people getting their accolades and whatnot, and maybe you feel like you're improving, but you're not getting posted anywhere. You're not in the spotlight like some of these kids are, but you can't focus on other people's success and compare it to yours. You have to just focus on your own success and what you're doing every day for your journey. If you focus on others and try to compare yourself to others, it just doesn't work, because you're on different timelines, and they don't equate to each other. You have to focus on your own journey and think about getting 1% better each day for yourself, not in comparison to anybody else, because then again, that just takes you on backward steps. It sets you in a negative mindset as, why am I not good enough? Why am I not where they are? Why am I not as good as them? That just gets you in the negative mindset, which isn't helpful for playing basketball or doing anything in life. You don't want to be in that kind of mindset. So I'm talking about basketball specific things, but this can be related to all parts of life. There are different ways that I have tried to become mentally strong. There are things you can do. So I journal a lot now. I was doing a lot of ice baths, doing a lot of breath work, and doing a lot of meditation. Just trying to learn who I am and be, sounds a bit of cliche, but be one with yourself, kind of be living in the moment, whereas not living in social media, living in the past, or trying to live in the future. Just realizing that the moment we have now is all that we have, and everything else doesn't really matter. So if you focus on the moment you're in, that means you're trying to be better in that moment, which will lead you to be 1% better each day, working on yourself. Doing the meditating and the breath work is things you do by yourself, and it's quieting your mind to be at peace with your own mind, not having your thoughts running crazy, thinking about all these different things, trying to, your thoughts do go crazy in that moment, but that's where you realize who you are and what you're thinking about. And your thoughts aren't you. You just choose how to react to your own thoughts. And that's the thing with the meditating and breath work. That's where you find out who you are, because these thoughts pop into your brain, but you choose to react to them however you want, and that's who you are. That part there took me a little bit to understand. It's hard to say it and then grasp it. You kind of have to be meditating in the moment to understand what that means. If you haven't got into meditating or breathwork yet, I really suggest you do, because it is groundbreaking. There's so much science behind it now that it really can change your perspective on life and the way you live life itself. You just become a lot more grounded and are better at living in the moment and not living, in the past or in other things. Just living in the moment and living for yourself. I didn't want this to be too long, but I can probably talk all day about these kind of things because I am very passionate about it, especially development for oneself, whether that's basketball or just life related. I do really enjoy seeing people succeed and get better for themselves. So I hope you can kind of take something away from what I've said. I hope that kind of makes sense. If there's anything you want me to expand on or try and explain more, I'm still trying to learn the best way to explain these things out loud. It's obviously easier to talk to yourself about it, but when you're trying to do something like this, it becomes a little more difficult. But I just wanted to share the things that I've done that have helped me in my journey. And then just something basketball related. As a shooter or shooting, it's just this was said to me a long time ago, and it stuck with me for ages. As you can go in shooting slumps. You also can't really control the makes and misses. You can only work on your own shooting to be better, but inevitably you can't make every shot, so you can't control that. But it was said to me, shoot the ball like you're going to make it. Don't shoot hoping it goes in. If that makes sense to you, please take that in. If it doesn't, what I'm trying to say is when you shoot the ball, have the confidence in yourself that your shot is going to go in. Shoot it like it's going in. Don't shoot it and then think, I hope that one goes down. Shoot it like, maybe this one will go in, and shoot it. That is already putting yourself in a negative space to miss the shot. You've got to shoot it like the ball is going in the hoop. That's something that I've taken on for a long time. I don't know if it was my dad or an old coach who said it. I think it might have been my dad, but because if you shoot trying to hope it goes in, you kind of you short arm it, you try and place it in the hoop. But if you shoot it like you're going to make it, you really shoot it with confidence, and that changes your whole foundation for shooting. So there's my mindset or mentality, and within sport, a lot of it is mindset. Like it's 50-50, 50% your body and what you put in, but then the rest of it all comes down to mindset. There's a lot of people out there with the skill, but just don't make it because they don't have the right mindset. So trying to train your mind in these different spaces with meditating, breathwork, ice baths, is a great way to start. But my number one advice would be just focus on yourself, getting 1% better each day, and being in the moment and not thinking about the past. Live to be better each day forward, and live to be in the present moment. There's things that I've tried to do now, and it has really helped me. Especially when you get knocked back, you don't make the teams, you don't achieve your goals. It helps you reset and then refocus and start the not journey over again, but start the process of getting to your next goal. I hope you took something away from that. If there's anything you want me to expand on more, anything you want me to go in depth in, I can. I do love this space. I'll get back to basketball content soon as I find a court. Otherwise, keep training, keep working hard. Twitter you out. See you next time. Peace.